Welcome to ADCO Aviation. On the 24th video, I made the folding tail brackets. I'm still in the middle of building the in-law cabin, so my garage is still full of supplies, and I cannot dig out my wings just yet. But I still have a ton of little things that need to be completed. Remember the 1-inch 6061 solid rod I used for the engine mounts? I took the leftover and spun it down a little bit more to make some plugs to go into the horizontal tail ends and the elevator ends. They are about 3/4 inch long, and I hollowed out the inner part of the plug to help lighten them up. All 6 pieces weighed 1.6 ounces, and I'll be drilling out a 3/16 hole through it as well, which will lighten them up considerably. I took T88 and epoxied them in place. The next day, I sanded the ends smooth, slightly rounded. I wanted to finish up the ends of these tubes for one, but I also thought it'd help beef up the tube ends and secure the tail sections as well, since we'll only be using one bolt to secure these brackets. I used a scrap piece of tubing to verify clearances before drilling the tail surfaces. I then marked all 6 ends and drilled out the 3/16 inch hole at the exact same length. Otherwise, it wouldn't swing up smoothly, or maybe not at all. Next, I started making the 062 tabs that hold the cable and tail pieces in place. The plans say to use stainless steel banding. Several callouts here. First of all, there is no stainless on the material list, which brings me to this. I've been updating the material list in Excel format and share it with those that have been asking. And secondly, it states on page 3 of the plans to make 10 brackets. Nope, you'll need 12 if you build it to plans. Of course, as we discussed in the last video, I made my tail to be able to be easily folded if I need to do so, so I replaced the lower 2 longeron bands with 4 more of these tabs. So I needed 16 pieces. I happen to have a scrap stainless plate in the shop. For 16 pieces, you'll need a piece 2-inch by 12-inch, or I suppose if you had a piece of 3/4 inch 0.062 inch banding, you need about 32 inches of that. Anyways, I cut out 16 pieces, drilled 3/16 inch hole on one side and a 1/4 inch hole on the other, then bent them per the plans using a hammer and a vise. Nothing too difficult here. I had to fight the urge to drill lightning holes in them, but all 16 came in at just 1.8 ounces. Another note about the material list. Don't get me started on the suggested hardware. I'm not sure anything I received in my kit based on the material list was right, at least for my build anyways. I've got to try my best to measure everything and make a shopping list for correctly needed hardware and place an order soon. I will need to get all of that before I can start making cables. So now that my tail fold's out of the way in the shop, I needed to go ahead and come up with a solution for keeping the tail pieces in the stowed position. Here's what I came up with. I went to the local hardware store and grabbed 2 pieces of thin wall 1/2-inch PVC pipe, 4 corresponding 90s and 4 T's. I also grabbed 4 pool noodles. They were thicker and seemed stouter than the regular foam insulation for PVC pipe. Based on my modified tail, yours would probably be shorter. I cut 4 pieces of PVC and noodles at 43 inches. I wanted the holder to rest on the rudder and the vertical stab just above the previously made brackets for the horizontal stabs. Next, I glued the T's and the 90s to these 4 pieces of pipe with the noodles stuffed in between. Then I cut 6 smaller pieces of pipe to tie it all together. Works like a charm. It seems to hold everything straight and snug, and is super easy to install and remove. Anyways, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video and hopefully found some of the information helpful for your build. If you're on the fence about starting a Legal Eagle build, hopefully I've shown you just how easy it can be. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube, Odyssey, or Rumble channel. Thank you, and be safe.